So for those of you that guessed Ronald McDonald, you win a prize. You win a free book, which I'll sign at the end of the session. I guess my question to you is, if you look at these five individuals, these five gentlemen, what do they have in common? Huh? They're male. You're going to have to work a little bit harder for your free book. The answer is all five were delusional megalomaniacs that thought that they could rule the world and live forever. And so, where we had entire generations, the Roman Empire, the entire fleet or suite of Khan sweeping through Asia, here we have advertising. Here we have an industry or an empire that is 50 years young, that believes it truly will rule the world and live forever. Global domination, right? The way we do business in 50 years' time will look exactly the way it does today, the way it looked 50 years ago. Does anybody in this room even remotely believe that our world, the way we do business, the way we build brands, the way we run our professional lives will be exactly the same in 50 years as it was 50 years ago? Not one person. And if I had to say to you 25 years, anyone believe 25 years it will be exactly the same as it is today? 20? The question, of course, is what are you doing about it today? What changes are you making structurally, organizationally, strategically, culturally? How are you changing what you do? Do you have a plan? Do you have a business plan? Do you have a blueprint? Do you have a vision to change and rewrite the rules? Because if you don't, you may go the way that these five people went as well. This really is about change. And, in this slide, I'll pick out a few little points that I want to kind of share with you. But it's interesting. This is almost a work in progress slide. The way the world was and the way the world is. Top of mind. Is it really about top of mind consideration, or is it about top of page consideration? And if I mean top of page consideration, what am I referring to? Yeah, I'm referring to Google. I'm referring to search. Today, when we want to find out something, we just type it. We ask a question. And it's not what sits in a little compartment in our brain. It's whatever is above the fold on our screen at any given time. There's this idea as well as the funnel of interest. We are predictable, linear human beings. We're machines. We're in the matrix. Awareness, interest, desire, action. Is it really that predictable? Is it really that consistent? Or in fact, is it the funnel of trust? When I need to buy a new, whether it's a BlackBerry or an iPhone, or I want to know which airline to fly, or what computer to buy, or which insurance company to choose, or which telephone provider, or which beer to drink, what do? I turn to someone just like me that I can trust, and I get their advice. Here's another thing as well, this idea of impressions versus relationships. A colleague, actually, he didn't used to be a colleague, but we just hired him at Crayon by the name of Adam. Adam was on a panel, and he said, I would rather have 10 or cultivate 10 quality relationships than buy 5 million impressions. And I believe that the 4 Ps are commoditized. There's perfect information. You want to find out what the market's paying at any given time? Just go to eBay. You want to buy anything, anywhere, anytime? Go to Amazon. Ubiquitous distribution. Perfect information. Transparent pricing. White noise and clutter that is promotion. And as far as products are concerned, for the most part, a car is a car. A plane is a plane. A bank is a bank. A cell phone provider is a cell phone provider. They all suck, for the most part. You have the male and the female form. You have Web 1.0, which was content, community, and commerce, and Web 2.0, that is really about context, customization, and conversation. People were excited to buy and sell stuff. People were excited about commerce. Can you believe that? Markets were, in fact, a series of conversations. But today, this is the market. It is sterile. It is cold. It is brittle. It is lifeless. You go into the shopping mall, it is so clean you could eat off the floor. This is the market today. There's no life. And online's worse. Because at least with online, there are no rude salespeople to bug you the whole time. But there's no music as well. There's no ambience. It's just very transactional. Get in, get out, get on with your life, which is fine if convenience is what powers us on a day-to-day basis. But most of us are human beings looking for meaning and some emotion and some connectivity and trying to find the best deal. The difference between communication and conversation is that communication kicks, as in tries to kick the door down. Conversation sticks in its category. But yet, in terms of conversation, it was dead and buried. It wasn't even in the conversation set. So it's what I call sometimes the many-to-many model. And those of you that have heard me present, you've probably seen a version of this model. But I think it really captures and what is now and what will be tomorrow. And it begins with the 4 Ps and mass marketing and mass media. It begins with advertising. It even begins with communication, where ultimately we disseminated our message. For the first time, consumers could come to us. Consumers could initiate as opposed to us. This really changed everything. But I think the model that we need to be talking about now is what I call the many-to-many model. And there's us. We're in the middle. We're surrounded by conversation. We're surrounded by engagement. We're surrounded by life. We're surrounded by hundreds and thousands and millions of people that are talking, that are asking, that are caring, that are laughing, that are crying. These conversations are the real conversations that we need to join and that we need to become a part of, as opposed to influencing it or starting it or dominating it or faking it or manipulating it. This is the ultimate fluid, non-linear model that we need to be thinking about now.